I mean, it's up to you. I was gonna stop at your office and ask about that. So I had a couple other things too, but yeah, if you know, we don't. What is it okay? I mean, it's just a simple question,
No, I mean,
right?
you're talking about the deferred prosecution.
Yeah. I mean, if I just, I was just like thinking in my head, it's kind of crazy. I would just sign it and just slip it under your door and get out of here. But it's not that easy, right?
If you wanted to do that, you could. And
Yeah.
like we could. We wouldn't have to have you come back necessarily.
Okay.
I think he probably would still want you to maybe be here by Zoom or something. If that's okay.
I was gonna suggest that, yeah. If there was to be a hearing, we could schedule some. All right, I'm interested in signing. Okay, and yeah, just what one like, it would be sometime before the trial date. I'm sure we'd set a time.
If you wanted to, and like I said, I'm not trying to force you to do anything one way or the other.
Okay.
If you wanted to, we could do it for that subpoena return date.
Okay, just set it. Okay, that'd be something to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna decide today. I have a couple questions. Kim Chanel's not talking to me anymore. You probably didn't get the email yet. I sent an email to recuse you. You saw it? Okay, but I'm going back and forth with this. I'm wishy-washy. I think 6 months may be good too, and then you could just ignore that recusal.
It's no big. I mean,
it's just
I get.
It's a fair part of the process. I can do it. So. And well, I'm being helped, but yeah, I think I'd like to decide today. I want to get the free CD from Judge Jones. They're closed, I guess, 1 o'clock.
Right, I'll be open again at 1.
So I'll do that. But if it's okay with you, I have it with me signed. But I won't have to get, if I decide, maybe in an hour, within an hour, I'll just give it to your secretaries and just.
If that's what you want to do, we can. Like I said, we can take it. We can put it on the docket for that.
The date.
Did he say Thursday or did he say Tuesday?
It was like 2 or 3 days before the trial date, so it's
no, I mean, subpoena day.
Oh, that day. Okay, I wrote it down. It's within a week of yesterday, so I'd have to do the math. You want to decide on that day?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
That's what you want to do.
I'd be interested in then asking Judge Jones for a link to the Zoom, or could I use the old link that I used?
Same one.
Okay, so I'll just go in with the old link, and then I'd look at my calendar, and once it comes up, okay. So it'd be a week from yesterday. Today's the 15th, so it'd be the 22nd.
22nd, yeah.
And we should schedule it as like let Judge Jones. Would you just let Judge Jones know if I turn this in?
What I would do, if you wanted me to now, like I said,
okay,
I would send that to him, but I would CC you on the email.
I'm having trouble with Kim Chanel. I'm emailing, and after I sent the recusal, I went up there and she told me that Judge Jones.
Sorry, I was just let you know that the girls had just get a few things. I didn't know if they told you. If you were sitting there, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Kim Chanel told me that Judge Jones ordered me not to email them anymore, and then she said, and then, so that's I have to send by. I can't. Because I do have a PDF of it signed. I took PDF. I have it hard copy and in PDF.
If you you want to email that to me.
Okay.
I don't care if you email me. And then I'll make sure that he gets it. Everything that you send me, I will. I'll CC you on it as well.
Okay.
Like I want to keep everything above board.
And that's the thing. I have a personal opinion about what I saw with the sheriff just waiting the whole time while we're going through the process, and it's just like, why did he have to give you the paperwork? It's like, why couldn't this have gone through you instead of have the sheriff go through this process? It seems inefficient to me.
I get that.
Because their background, you can get that, and then to have to go through. But
largely, I think in a situation like that, whenever we're talking about subpoena return stuff, I think it's more ceremonial than anything.
Ceremonial.
You know, but
okay.
Basically, you know, he's bringing that there, and it's on record that he's giving that to us.
Yeah.
He's giving that to the court. You know, I think that's what it was about.
So in my experience in Williston, North Dakota, the investigators handled it. They knew I had an active case, and they just sent me the cops training and discipline records just through the direct means. But it's in Kentucky. It's more ceremonial here. So, and it seems more inefficient too. But I mean, I guess it's kind of a slower pace.
I guess. So, I mean, and you know, the thing is, man, I don't know what like other jurisdictions are necessarily like, you know.
Yeah, it's.
So I mean, it's just.
I've gotten.
It's strange, like stuff that we do here. We think it's commonplace, and in other places it might.
And you're not. You're just not aware.
Yeah.
Because in Louisiana, I was totally denied training records, and I was totally denied discipline records, and I got some training records. It's,
you know, they have that whole simple code thing down there anyway.
The Napoleonic Code.
You know, so
yep.
It's completely different.
And the
everywhere else in the country.
Yep, the judges have decided that no public employee records can be seen by the public because it could possibly embarrass or cause jealousy. So they just protect all public employee records across the board, and that's the most extreme I've seen, as opposed to North Dakota, where I just talk to the investigator and they'll give me the policeman's records, and then Kentucky's kind of in between with the ceremonial thing. I find I'm learning I hate to learn the process. I'd rather just be minding my own business, but it's something I'm learning as I'm traveling. So yeah. But
I tell you, man, like I said, I've been doing this 20 years, and I learn something new every day myself too. So
that's good. Yeah, if you find a motivation to keep the process of learning going, that excitement. Since and what excites me is travel. I mean, I've been depressed just hanging out waiting on court dates. It happens every time, every place I've had this similar situation. Just stay.
So where are you from originally?
Well, I was born in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
But I've been traveling the past 11 years.
What part of Wisconsin?
Well, it's Race Lake, Wisconsin, which is about an hour east of the Twin Cities.
Right.
So it's the north part of Wisconsin.
Is that near? It's the only place. I've been 2 places in Wisconsin. I've been to Milwaukee.
Okay.
I've been to Fond du Lac.
Okay, I'm not too familiar with Fond du Lac.
Okay.
But Milwaukee, yeah, they're south. They're warmer. They get a little warmer. The frost, there's the frost level. There's like no frost level here. Like the frost is 8 feet. You gotta put pipes 8 feet under the ground. It gets that deeply cold. You can walk on the lakes in the winter. It's different. Spring might not be really coming out yet up there at this time of year. It's the flowers.
I don't know how long you've been around here, but like, hell, it seems like we get 2 winters.
Oh, it's gonna be really cold in the next few days, I saw. So
you know, like just because it says that spring is here doesn't really mean anything, because like, you know, it'll be cold in 2 weeks.
Yep, it's
2 hours.
And that's the difference between here and the central part of the country compared to the West Coast. There's a lot of homeless people on the West Coast, but the temperature is so stable because of the Pacific Ocean stabilizing it. And then there's no ticks, no mosquitoes, you know, all the blood-sucking insects. You don't see that on the West Coast. So homeless people can live very comfortably up and down the Pacific and in a little bit, but it's best right on the beach. Yeah. But here, hurricanes and just extreme, you know, weather changes day to day. You know, maybe a 50-degree drop or a raise, sweat one day, freeze the next. It's not like that on the West Coast. But it's like that in Wisconsin where I'm from. I'm very used to the extremes, and yeah, that's so.
You said you've been traveling for 11 years?
Yeah, in the same car. Wow. So.
And I'm just curious, because you know I got to know you through this process, you know. But
yeah, it's a weird way to get to know people, but
But I mean, is there a particular reason why?
I just it's in my genes. I just love to see new places.
Yeah.
I owned a house in Rice Lake for 8 years, and I was depressed. I get depressed being stuck in one place, and so I'm not pursuing a lot of money. You make way more than me. I'm just interested in visiting different places, seeing different places, waking up to a new environment every day. It's refreshing, and that clean air too. Just because I keep my windows open, and just there's some places that are pretty bad. Like, well, I I plan on signing this, but I mean, I made a video about I was parked at Walmart that night, and smoke. There's somebody just burning stuff, and I don't know how well you enforce that, but there's just smoke, and I moved to get out of that smoke, and that happens sometimes. That's gonna happen in Illinois because they got a big oil area, oil pumping area in the central part, and there was a lot of bad smoke. And I shuffle. I just try to get out of the path of that. So there's really beautiful areas that are clean, and then I'm learning the hard way, just because. And I study the Google Maps too. Just I pick out parks I want to hang out at, libraries, the WalMarts, for like overnight sleeping.
Right.
And it's just I could spend sometimes just 5 minutes to find like really obvious, easy places, and sometimes it could take me almost an hour looking at Google Maps trying to figure out where a good place is.
Right. I don't know if you have partaken of it, but you know, especially when it's cold again. But there's a warming center, like just right up the street.
Is it across the street from the library?
Well, it's across from the parking lot, right over here. Washington Street Church. When you go out the door, Washington Street is like right, kind of catty cornered.
Yeah.
There. But that warming center is like right up the street from there.
Yeah, I see that they get a lot of police calls there, I believe.
I don't know.
I might know what you're talking about. It's maybe that super tall building that used to be an old hotel, a classic hotel.
That is the Urban Cobb.
Urban Cop,
Yeah,
okay.
Urban Cobb.
Yeah, you have behavioral health. I mean, there's this downtown region is this isn't like a safe haven for illegal aliens, but you have some kind of I don't know how to explain it. There's you share your the programs that you have seem to attract, because there's outside of the city there's like a chemical dependence place, and then I heard in the courtroom talking about crossroads, but I'm understanding that's no longer okay. It changed, so this region seems to support people. I mean, you don't see people camping out. I haven't seen anybody camping or any campground areas around here, unlike other places. But yeah, and that's maybe the view you take on people who don't sleep in homes. You know, they should be sleeping on a bed somewhere. But I'm fine with my car. I like that much better. I can watch over it while I'm sleeping. You know, if something happens, it's a security issue. I actually tried sleeping at a homeless shelter in Boise, Idaho, and I mean, I had the choice. And when people say I should find a shelter to sleep at, I ask, and this has been my experience, I ask, what would you prefer, sleeping next to the masturbator or the snorer? It's like, and then there's a schizophrenic in front of me too. And there's a lot of you
mentioned snoring. You should ask my wife that question.
Okay, probably choose separate rooms. Yeah, it's and that's the same problem that you see at homeless shelters. It's just there's people who have that. Do you have to use? You don't have to use a device or the CPAP.
But
okay,
it's so uncomfortable. I don't really like using it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, every once in a while I'll get a wild hair and use it, but I don't like it.
No, it looks uncomfortable. So I don't mean to hold you up or anything. It's probably after 1. Oh no, it's almost there. I'm really excited to get this CD that Judge Jones said he'll just give me. You probably heard of the case of Juniper Mullan. I put that in the email too, and that's what the Kim Chanel's denying me Juniper's videos too. I have a date. She asked for a date, and now I have a date, and now she's just totally ignoring me. There seems to be a little contention with trying to get
a copy of her.
Juniper's her court dates. Have you heard of Lackluster?
I've heard you mention him, but I'm not familiar with whom he is exactly. But I've heard you talk about him.
The cops know about him because they were mentioning him during my arrest before they muted, and he asked me. I kind of do talk to him, and I told him I was thinking about trying to get Juniper's videos because he made a video about her, and she got $20,000 on GoFundMe to sue McCracken County, and she won, and then there was a payout, but she can't say what the payout is. And Lackluster asked me if I could find out more about that, and I was like, okay, I'll talk to the judge executive. They're the fiscal judge, and then they said that there was a Kentucky Association insurance company, and then I just gave Lackluster that information.
Did you call Brian?
No, I'm gonna call him here shortly.
Okay. I think Steve and Austin got your lunch.
Okay.
They went to eat there, but they're bringing ours back.
Okay.
And you too.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry.
No problem.
So yeah, I'm just telling you this. I don't expect you to be able to do anything with the CD issue.
See if I can find out.
I'm gonna go over her head. I believe that she has supervisor probably in Louisville, Kentucky or something. A court clerk that she has a supervisor, and I think I'm gonna probably have to ask them to try to help me out because she just turned on me when I sent the recusal, and there's just a turn. So
I can't promise you anything, but like I said, let me see what I
don't. You don't even need. Yeah, I'm just saying it. It just recently happened, so I'm just kind of venting because I'm very curious because Juniper Mulligan's lawyer apparently was like coming on to her. He was a public defender, and he had a psychological problem.
He was really a private attorney, but I think he had signed a contract to represent
city appointed or county appointed, and he was like coming on to her, and then she and that was mentioned in Lackluster's video, and she had to find a new lawyer. But I'm curious to watch the court's proceedings to listen to him just for entertainment, I guess, just to see how he's like. Because
let me see what I can find out. And I'll try to be in contact with you on that.
Okay. And I mean, I have this in PDF form. I want to get this CD. I want to do a couple things first, and then I can send it to you, and then be out of the city. I put this behind me. I mean, this is going to be contained within McCracken County, and I don't plan on returning I'm going north, crossing the bridge, going across the Ohio River.
Did you get your car fixed?
Nope. No, I have a bad clutch. It grinds. So I'm just really gentle.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm just going to keep driving it. I had 2 mechanics look at it, and they both can't really tell yet of any major issues. So I guess I just press on and be very cautious. I mean, it's not like the brakes failed. It's just I can't move. I can move fast. It'll grind harder the harder I try to move fast
It's an automatic, right?
Nope.
Not automatic.
No, it's a stick shift. So it's that first gear that grinds the most. But I'll tap the gas and not have as much grinding when I'm cautious with that. So it was a weird situation with using the cruise control. I was going downhill 55 miles an hour, and then I was like, okay, let's put in that cruise control. It was just a recent thing. I never really used cruise control, and I was just playing with it, and the RPMs shot up to 6,000, and I hit in the clutch, and then things went bad. So it was a weird situation. I don't know. The mechanics can't explain it. I just have to push it. I mean, all cars break down. I mean, I don't know. You have some experience with playing with cars?
Yeah.
Kind of a gearhead?
Not
Or,
really.
okay.
My dad was before he died, but
yeah.
I didn't get that gene.
Okay. All right.
But
yeah.
I was trying to think if I knew anybody.
Oh, yeah.
That might, you know,
I'll,
have any kind of experience on that, you know, might be able to help.
I'll say I've been sleeping at the Kroger grocery store. You know, no problems there for this whole time, and then hanging out in the Bob Park, and there's a transmission shop not far from there. I was thinking I'd like to get an oil change before maybe I leave, which is nearby there too. And then there's a transmission shop, but I just, yeah, for reference, yeah, it's apparently stick shifts are becoming less popular for new cars, but it's all internal, and just there's nothing really that they could just. You have to pull it out to see it, or just getting a feel for it. There's little clues, but I just gotta just take it easy on the car.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was close to spending $6,000 for the DUI lawyer. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's got no? Okay. Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel, and he's a lawyer in Kentucky, and he's going to charge $6,000. That would be the guy I would have turned to defend me at trial. And I actually, you guys, the stress that was created yesterday for me was so jacked up. I was like, here guys, I'll sign this contract, you know, and I sent it to them, but they held it. So I had some friends that in a circle of friends I was talking to. I sent it to them, but they said they'll hold it. They didn't give it to them, and then I was able to cool down, and now I'm like, okay, maybe it's just better to go with the 6-month agreement with you guys.
And the thing about it, Travis, is like, you know, I mean, I'm not the hard ass that, you know, everybody, you know, tries to make me out to be. It's not. No, that's not me, you know. But you know, like I said, you know, that's something, you know, we just want to, you know, if I can resolve the case, you know, and it's amicable to everybody, that's what I'm usually trying to do.
Okay.
I'm trying to just hammer people, you know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And that's a good position to take as a candidate for a judge. Absolutely. But I mean, I actually saw when I had a problem in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, I was at the public defender's office, and there's a sign that says, "The prosecutor is your enemy." Okay, and and I'm like, okay, that sounds like a reasonable stance if they're promoting that idea.
Well, and it's like what you said yesterday, you know, in our office, about the whole adversaries thing, you know. That's always been my philosophy, is that, you know, yeah, I got to deal with defense attorneys and whatnot, and it's like, yeah, we have an adversarial, you know, profession, but it's like I choose not to be adversaries with people. I think it's a nuanced difference there, you know.
You have, I mean, that's you come into the job as the adversary, and then to try to soften that tone, that's not expected. People aren't. It's gonna be a surprise. A lot of my previous prosecutors have been very vicious. They want everything. The judge had to dismiss the case in North Dakota, not the prosecutor. But here, that's not the option. You have to dismiss.
Well, typically, here it's just, you know, the judges don't really have that authority. It's prosecutorial discretion. You know, so.
Yeah. In Bethany, Missouri, I had a case for 1.5 days. That was it. The prosecutor dropped it that quickly. I think a lot of it may have been the public outcry after I posted a video. Apparently, the phone in Bethany, Missouri, the phones got shut down. There's a small town. They couldn't handle the volume of calls. I got arrested at City Hall just asking about parking. But that was the quickest I've ever seen my case out of my 6 cases get dismissed. It was a surprise. I don't even know exactly the reason. He just, as a piece of paper, it said it was dismissed, no explanation, and that's it. So there's a range. My Louisiana case is still going on. It's over 2 years now, still ongoing.
So you got a
There's Judge Jones. We got a new what?
Yeah, a new trial in that case.
The next, I have a lawyer there. The next hearing coming up will be in May. The city judge recused himself. He found me guilty. I spent 30 days in jail, and this is over a failure to ID.
Judge, can I ask you a question real quick? Speaking hypothetically, if we were talking resolution, would you entertain that on the subpoena return date?
Yeah, he already has 4 days for next
Yeah,
Thursday.
for next Thursday? Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
I wasn't trying to put words in your mouth, nothing like that. I just,
Okay, yeah, there's the potential, the possibility. Yeah, I mean, so you're not saying, you didn't say, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So,
All right. So yeah, that's. I mean, I was just saying, yeah. There's different ways of arriving at this. There's different ways of arriving at the same conclusion. A lot of different. With my arrests, they've arrived at the conclusion in different ways, and some have taken longer than others. And yeah, I mentioned the Louisiana thing. City judge recused himself. I had to sit through a bench trial. I wanted a jury trial, but it was totally denied, and that was difficult. I always want a jury trial. I think it's in my best interest, but in Louisiana, you're denied that for misdemeanors. It has to be a higher level of an offense. And I went through by myself, pro se. So actually, I went through the trial by myself, 6.5 hours. Sat through the trial. I got a lot of the same help was the help that you see who wrote my motions with you. He is a lot of the same people with helping me with that, and he helped me with the trial, going through that. So I kind of, with the amount of questions I was able to ask, it lasted a long time. Just every detail. What did the police know at the time they made contact with me? There's those types of, all that, but there's whole books, like $300 books written on this. But in Louisiana, it was really difficult. Bench trials are just no fun, and I don't know. It's just, there's just a lot of bad things that happen, and just a lot of in Louisiana. There's just a lot of just, they have the highest incarceration rates in Louisiana. There's just a lot going against the defendants over there. It seems maybe slightly more fair in Kentucky. Just you're part of the southern region.
there's no perfect place, because if there was, I'd be there. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But, I mean, we just deal with what we got. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Work with the people that you're surrounded with. You have your culture. You have your individual. You're not an island. I mean, you do have a river separating you a little bit from Illinois, but I mean, you're not this isn't like Hawaii. There's people who come through. I'm a traveler. I've been traveling 11 years, just up and down around the country. I can freely move about. I mean, I had I had no real important reason to visit Paducah. It's just another city just to look at. It's just.
Other than what's been going on here, have you been able to see a lot of the city?
Well, I spent a couple of days before I got arrested just looking around Paducah, and that was my last night. I was going to head further south, but I looked around, looked at the mall. I mean, I looked along the river.
Yeah, our downtown area was really historic.
Yep.
Really interesting place.
It's nice. I was across the river. I saw Superman at the metro because I came came south. The massacre, Massac. Yeah, it's. I mean, I seen all of that. I was recording it and posting, and it's neat. But yeah, it's. And then in the time during this case, I went further south into Mississippi, and that was kind of fun. But it's not as fun when I have like that sword of Damocles hanging over my head. I have to still take care of this because I want to come back through Kentucky a few more times further east. I zigzag with the seasons. It's getting warmer, so I want to go north. So I'll come back south through Kentucky on that more the eastern middle portion. It's such a long state, but I don't want any trouble. I don't want any active cases because that would probably come up on my record if I have an active.
Like I said, as far as this is concerned, we wouldn't, like, if something happens in some other place, not worried about it.
But it would. I mean, they could still hold me, and then they would call you and say, "Oh, we're not worried about it," and then hold me for 3 days and be like, "Okay, they said we're not worried about it," and then we'll just let you go then. But I'll still maybe have that issue where it's an active case,
This is not something
right?
where we'd issue a warrant, or we would.
Okay.
We wouldn't do anything like, extradite or anything like that.
Okay.
So no.
That's okay. There's that fear. There's a lot of. You would just, if they're within your county, depending on the severity. For misdemeanors, I mean,
if it's something stupid, generally I'm not trying to mess with it.
okay.
Just to be honest with you, like I said, if you get caught jaywalking, I mean that's not what I'm talking about. Like if it was like an assault, or if it was something that you got arrested for, then we might have to consider it. But like I said, we're gonna look at everything case by case. We're not gonna just say,
Yeah, just get them this. We got to process them, and any. Yeah, okay.
So I mean, so like I said, we're not trying to just. We're not trying to keep you here, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not trying to get you hemmed up on anything or anything like that.
Well,
That's not what this is about.
Past few weeks have been rough for me, but I mean that's what it's been like. I've learned from other states. It just takes time for the court process to. There's other people before me, and I just have to wait in line for the next. I mean, I understand it's frustrating, but I mean, now being a veteran of having a lot of these issues, it's it's just a time consuming thing. And that's the thing. I rely on YouTube a lot for money, and I really don't try to extend myself too much on work, because I kind of expect these situations to happen, and I make time for them. I mean, I don't want to have there's guys that lose their jobs and because they get arrested. I'll just YouTube won't fire me, so they're a nice fallback. And this whole time putting out videos on YouTube over this, I've lost subscribers, views have gone down, earnings have gone down. I'm fighting on principle. It's not about making more money. I get more views from just their basic interactions with cops, about the ID exchange thing. People like that more than the court process. It's just what appeals to the broader base. There's those nerds that are into the details of the court process, but they're few and far between. I'd like to help educate more people about the process. That's partly what I'm doing, and I'll still post even the least popular stuff. I mean, the DUI guy's got like almost 500,000 subscribers, and he's just showing in the court process.
So he's from here in Kentucky.
He's Louisville.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm surprised you haven't heard of him. The DUI guy. He's okay. He's a white guy, kind of gray on the top. Because there's some other DUI guys. If you search just him, he's DUI guy plus. Okay. That might help. And yeah, he's in the center part of Kentucky. He would have taken my case. But I wanted to personally take it just to get through the motions. That's my habits. Now I don't think a lot of people like to do that, but I like to at least go through the motions of discovery, bill of particulars, just all the motions myself, and then get that settled, and then move on to. I can't do trials myself. I learned that the hard way in Natchitoches, Louisiana, how difficult that is. I don't have that.
It's Natchitoches.
Natchitoches, yeah. It looks like Natchitoches,
See,
but you say.
that's what I've been saying this whole time. I've been trying to figure out how to pronounce it.
Yeah, you got to go down there and talk to the locals. Get familiar, because there's two ways. There's the Natchitoches and there's Natchitoches. There's the dirty way to say it is Natchitoches, but you could say Natchitoches. It is more the proper way. So yeah, they know they know that people have difficulties with that. Yeah, it's got a flavor in its own, but yeah, it's. Yeah, and I have to admit, I haven't heard any gunfire in this town, except for during the daytime. Somebody might be like practice shooting or something, but in Natchitoches, almost every night I'll hear gunfire in the city.
That's usually more when you get out in the county areas.
Yeah, hunters or.
You'll hear it out there, but like usually in the city we have an ordinance, against that.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
why you don't hear it so often in the city.
And you hear it almost every night in the city in Natchitoches, and almost any other. I traveled a lot of towns through Louisiana, and a lot of towns it's almost every time I stop for the night I'll hear gunfire. It's very common, but I haven't heard it at all so much at nights in Paducah. Paducah is a very civil town. You live in a very, I think, very civil.
It's a nice place. I mean, I grew up here. Lived in Lexington for about 10 years. Actually went to law school in Carbondale. And
Okay, Carbondale. Yep,
yeah,
that's a
so-
big loss. Yeah, I heard about.
so I haven't been around as much as you have, but I mean, I've been here and there.
Yeah, and I saw you gave me the video from Carbondale on the thumb drive. Those officers were rough, shining their light in my face like that. I was just on the side of the road. But okay, yeah, I've heard about the law school there. I drove, kind of around it, and it's good. People are saying it's kind of a rough area. Some people have called it Dale, just Dale. I guess there's a little
They call it the Dale, or they'll call it Carbondale.
Carbondale. Okay.
Trying to be,
I'm gonna avoid that town. When I'm going north, I'm gonna avoid it. But people are saying there's towns east of Carbondale that are kind of rough, in a similar way. So I don't like posting videos on my YouTube channel, but things happen.
Yeah, not yet.
I'm trying to avoid. I'd rather just put, my drives or just personal thoughts, talk about my health on my health channel. But this is spontaneous, all of this, and I'll post it. I mean, it may, yeah, and it seems to be a theme with prosecutors on.
You going to wrap up?
Did I what?
You going to wrap up?
I did. I'm freezing.
Oh.
I'm old. The blood, doesn't flow like it used to.
Yeah, it needs.
He's complaining all morning about how cold he was.
Yeah.
I'm freezing.
And it's just getting colder.
Yeah.
The next few days.
I mean, it was this morning. It was in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it cool down outside?
Yeah, it's in the 40s now.
Yep, through the day it's dropping. That's amazing. So
And
it's
they were saying, I think it's Sunday night or Monday night. It's going to be like in the 20s. So we'll have a heavy freeze.
Yep. All the flowers are gonna be challenged.
Like these
It's gonna be-
cherry trees out here, they'll all turn brown and fall
Yep.
off.
Yep.
All the pretty stuff. Just like you, Craig. Just like you.
Thank you.
The pretty stuff.
You get your eyes checked, okay?
Yeah. I can outrun you, don't worry.
But hey, that's low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get out.
Okay. Yeah.
But whatever you decide.
Yeah, I can just email it to you.
Yeah, just let me know what you're gonna do.
Sounds like a good deal. Yep.
All right, man.